Good morning, guys. Welcome to the TD SYNNEX and Microsoft webinar, where will talk about protect your customers with Microsoft Defender for Business. My name is Mahmoud Ahmad, and together with me, I have my colleague you will meet at a later point, Kasper Flö. The heading for today's agenda is we will gonna talk about how you can protect your customers with Microsoft 365. So we have invited you to this webinar so you, as a partner, can use Microsoft 365 to keep your customers' data safe from the different cyber threats which we are seeing in the market. We'll cover and talk about our Microsoft 365 Defender for Business that can help on different types of cybersecurity layers when it comes to intelligence, when it comes to Secure Score, and also go through Security Copilot and your next steps for planning. Unfortunately, the Q&A part will not happen because of some technical problems, but that you will have the possibility to come back to us either with an email or send us and book a meeting with us as a follow-up, and then we'll sort out your questions as well. So one of the cool thing about Defender for Business is that your customers get a secure score or a score which should at least be a minimum 65. Which shows how their secure organization is and what kind of cloud security posture management they have. So let us move on then, I think. So there is no doubt that security is top of mind for all SMB customers. This is a Microsoft survey which they did in 2021. So this number has risen more than a couple of years. This was actually in the COVID period. But if we see that there has been rise in 300% rise in ransomware attacks in the past year. And more than 50% of the small businesses are targeted. One of the key things or the key learnings from this slide is not that if you're gonna be hacked, the thing is that it's more like when you're gonna be hacked now, because the professional criminals or the people who are actually interested in making fast money, they are not necessarily just interested in actually those big bad companies who have a major data value in their pocket. They're interested in a restaurant. It could be they can be interested in an electric company. They can be interested in a office building, just because they know that small businesses has more breaches or could have more breaches rather than these big bad companies who actually have mostly of them has good control on security. So as you see the numbers, 61% of small businesses that experienced a recent cyber attack were not able to operate, and that's because they lack the skills, they don't have the resources, and they don't have the tools. So when we talk about cybersecurity, we often say that it's about three things which you need to have in place. The first thing is, it's about people. Skilling is important, processes, and then you have to have the tools. So SMB lacks skills in-house to deal with cyber attacks. And one of the things TD SYNNEX can help you with is also about the skilling, because we have our own TD SYNNEX Academy, which is gold certified on Microsoft. And as you see, 1/3 of all the cyber attacks are targeted at small businesses. So your customers, since you are the partners, are actually in the risk zone. An average cost of SMB data breach This figure may actually vary now, but it's around $100K, $100,000. And if we convert it to, the different Nordic countries, it will be around, 1 million, dependent on actually, the value. So this solution and other cybersecurity solutions, which also Tech Data or TD SYNNEX delivers, is based on National Institute of Standards and Technology Cybersecurity Framework, also called NIST framework, which you may all be aware of. And there you have 5 areas, 5 key areas which you need to actually be aware of. One of them are identifying. That's where you actually do your risk assessment. That's where you have this asset management, and that's also where you actually need to get this up on to the management level to tell them that this has to be cybersecurity has to be aligned with the risk management strategy. Then when you are in the protect area, you have to have the control mechanisms for IAM part. You need to do the skilling part. You have to take care of data security, and that's also where Microsoft plays a very, very good role. They have different kind of cybersecurity trainings, beginning with SC 900 is fundamentals, and dependent on which way you want to go, you can take either analyst or you can be an operation with SC 200 or SC 300 as well. From protection, you go to detection, and then you need to have also processes where you can, gain insight and discover anomalies and events and have this security continuous monitoring with detection processes. We will later come into that stage because detect and respond goes into that area which we call for SOC or Security Operations Center as well. Then in the respond area, you need to have this planning. If you wanna, if you have your own incident response team, which a lot of SMBs don't have, or a lot of partners don't have, then they need to partner with others who can deliver this for them. You have to have communications with your customers. You need to do analysis, you need to do mitigation, and then recovering. And with recovery, you need to both have a disaster recovery and backup, so that the backup is not actually breached already or is attacked by this ransomware. So this is a framework, and this framework actually is also covered by some national security institutes, which are in the different Nordic countries as well. So let's move on. Microsoft Defender for Business. It's about elevating your security. And Microsoft Defender for Business is actually a unified endpoint security solution. And it's designed to protect your customers' devices, data, identities from the cyber threats. So these are the 5 areas which actually Microsoft has highlighted where they want to invest into protection. It's on threat and vulnerability management, and that's where we talked about the identifying part in NIST framework. And then you have the attack surface reduction, which is about protection, more or less. Then you have the next-gen protection, and it's actually more or less a firewall, or not firewall, but an antivirus. And then you have the EDR part, endpoint detection and response, where you have the detect and respond part. And then you have this auto investigation and remediation, which is going on to recovery part. Together with this, Microsoft also has simplified onboarding and administration. And for you who are our partners, TD SYNNEX partners, you can actually do this simplifying onboarding and administration through our Stream 19 platform, when it comes to the billing part and order part. And you can also utilize the Office or Microsoft 365 portal more around the technical part. Yeah, so Microsoft has actually understood that this protection solution called for Defender for Business, it needs to be actually, we'll say, let on different platforms, and therefore they have also made this protection for various endpoints, including Windows, Mac OS, Android, and iOS devices. And it integrates with other Microsoft security products such as Defender, Azure Defender, Azure Sentinel, to provide a comprehensive security system. This solution provides multiple layers of protection against different types of cyber threats, as I said. It could be malware, it could be ransomware, zero-day attacks, and so forth. This is an enterprise-grade protection, meaning that you'll protect your devices against ransomware and other cyber threats. And also, it will be doing an identification with threat and vulnerability management, which is more in the beginning when things are, happening, and that has not happened yet. So that's so you can detect this exploit protection and together with things like application control. It's really easy to use. I will have a quick demo afterwards for the Defender in the portal. It's quickly with easy wizard based onboarding, and is cost effective. Because it's available in 3 plans, which will come back to you after a while. When it comes to easy to use, VNTD Synix has also utilized something we call for click-to-run solutions, which I will touch upon on a later stage. And Defender for Business, just that has been said, it's utilized for customers who has up to 300 employees. Yeah, this is just an overview actually on how Microsoft Defender for Business looks like beneath or up to 300 seats and above 300 seats. I'm not going to read up all the different kind of functionalities which you have here, which you can see on your left side, but there are a lot of things you can just take up from the hat and start utilizing from first if you have the right plan. So the next thing for you is to understand the partner opportunity. It's about helping your customers to provide them a comprehensive security solution that covers all endpoints, as I said, where they have this single pane of glass, where they know that they have a minimum viable protection on their customers. So how do you do that actually? So the thing is that 90% of SMBs has paid endpoint security, right? So you already are in the Microsoft environment, more or less, I think. There are huge potential of selling this to your customers if you don't do it already. 90% customers say they will switch IT partners if they offered better security. So if you get me right, this is about churn as well. You want your customer to stay close to you, so don't go to another partner because of you don't delivering the cyber security. So how can Microsoft help you with this? Microsoft has built a solution which is a global solution within 181 markets, 53 languages, cross-platform, together with Lighthouse and RMM integration for you as an MSP partner, where you can have all your customers. This is really, really breaking. So when you actually talk to your customers, it's about elevating your customer security and growing their businesses and your business as well. Because, you know, a lot of management or see security as a cost. But the thing is, this is not a cost. Well, there is an investment, that's true. But if you don't invest in this, it's like an insurance. When you are hit, then the cost and the damage is more than the upfront investment you did in it. And the management has to understand this, that by investing in cybersecurity and building the business, they are actually tying customer even more to them and making profit for them as well. These are the 4 areas where Microsoft say they can help you. It's about meeting customer needs for increased security, securing all your customers with ease, growing revenue and reduce operation cost, about lowering margin, but hiring your margin as partner, and then on-ramp new customers and upsell to broader Microsoft portfolio. So what are the different key customer targeting scenarios within this Microsoft 365 Defender for Business areas? You have those customers who already are into the 365 domain, but don't necessarily have the right solutions. Like, let's say a lot of them has Business Basic or Business Standard or other kind of add-ons. Then it's necessary for you to actually take that step and do an analysis and an overview of, okay, might there be an option that we can actually lead with cloud productivity through the security proposition with 365 Business Premium, or we can put an add-on as Microsoft Defender for Business on the other SKUs, you know, so that they have this security add-on and then they are more attached to you as a first step. Then you have the recruiting part of the non-Microsoft 365 customers. That's a hard part because you have to do the hunting, you know, you have to do the analysis. But that's also where there's a huge potential, but there is also a competition there as well, because you're not the alone in the market. Then you need to find your pathway to taking 365 Business Premium security value with Defender for Business and approach to customers by showing them a TCO value, like total cost of ownership, you know. Okay, what if you add, I'll come back to it later where I will show some figures and numbers and also how you can actually take this to your customers. But it's about attaching Defender for Business to the competitive and showing that they like playing with one solution in a Microsoft environment will give them a better security in the Microsoft environment, and then they have one environment rather than having different environment and different security solutions if they do have any. Yeah, and then you have the last part, which actually I don't think there are a lot of in SMB sector as well. May happen, it are some, but those are on-premise customers. They might be cloud averse because of the security, or it can be that they are actually has an very old kind of, you know, legacy systems and old Microsoft systems which they are still using. That can be in public sector and so forth, or in organizations, but that's also a part where you can help them to move to the cloud. So initially I talked a little bit about actually Lighthouse, but these two snapshots, they're actually just telling that Microsoft 3 Defender for Business is very tight and integrated with Lighthouse as well together. So where you can, see these secure incidents, alerts, and devices from Defender for Business in the dashboard, and get the details from the incidents queue. So Lighthouse access and a remote monitoring management tool where you can actually handle all your customers in single pane of dashboard, and that's really good and effective as well. One of the things which we were in the Defender for Business solution portfolio, if you remember it, was the next-gen protection part. And this highlights, actually, this overview just highlights how Microsoft actually encounter malware when it comes in to the client part. They have an heuristics behavior approach and local machine learning models. Then it goes through a pipeline, and then you have the cloud metadata provisioning. You actually set the metadata on this cloud with cloud rules. So through all this pipeline, you will see like that when they came, they are very, very diversified in this pipeline. But when they go through this pipeline, they are being very, very targeted. You have a sample part where you have inspection of multi-class. You go through deep neural network classifying, detonation, and then you have the blast part, which is actually automatically classifying threats based on signals across Microsoft, because Microsoft does billions of signal hunting every day. Some new updates then. Defender for Business servers add-on are available. So add-on Windows and Linux server protection is now available for Defender for Business, also with 365 Business Premium. And you get the same protection for both clients and service with a single admin experience. This is multi-customer management with Microsoft 365 Lighthouse integration. And this is $3 per server instance. And this price is then suggested retail price, meaning that this is the official. It's not your price through the agreement which you has with TD SYNNEX. Another new thing which is in the preview is simplified mobile threat defense. This is about actually securing iOS and Android devices without device management or add-ons together with Defender for Business standalone. And this could be a really good game changer as well when it comes to detecting malicious Android apps with app security. So around the mobile application security, this will definitely be worthwhile to look upon. Right, so I'll show you guys a really short video or live of Microsoft Defender, actually, live demo of Microsoft 365 Defender portal. So this is how it looks like when you're actually entered into the portal through. You go to the security part, and then you're listed up with the incidents, alerts. You have hunting, you have actions, submissions, threat intelligence, and secure score. Well, the part I will take is more around secure score, not so much on these parts actually. But you have all the possibilities here to look upon. So when you click on the secure score, now remember guys that this is a dummy environment, so this is not officially. So I have a very low secure score here on 32.63. But the main point here is actually to tell you that you can see how actually my secure score, which was on 50% here, has gone there, and then I did something here for a couple of days back, and then it went up, you know. So you have the different three categories which you are actually breakdown points by. You have the identity part, you have the data part, and you have the apps part. And then again, you have the actions to review. Like if you do these actions, like I have 34 actions to address, and if I do this, I'll get up to those 65 or more secure score, which is recommended by Microsoft. That's why we called it for like an internal language, Mission 60. Mission 65 is more also because you have that in Defender for Cloud. It's more related to Defender for Cloud in Azure, where you have the minimum mission 65 or 65% secure. But back to secure score here in 365. If I put multi-factor authentication for administrator roles, you see that you will get a score impact. Yeah, it will increase my secure score with 4%, and then you have all the different actually parameters here which I need to turn, and that it will increase my security score. Let's say we just do one of these, that we take this one, turn on safe attachments in block modus. I'll just double click on it, and then I get this that I have to edit status and action plan and manage tags. General, this can be okay. This is the implementation editors with the following domain. This is the right a tenant, a demo tenant, and then this is the implementation part. You have Microsoft Defender for Office 365 P2 and the history part. So when I need to do a thing here, I'll then go edit status and action plan. I can say that, okay, I need to be addressing it. I have planned it. I accept the risk. I don't handle it because it's resolved through third party, or I resolve it through alternate mitigation. For me, I accept the risk in this case because you know, this is a dummy thing. So I'll just say that I risk the acceptance. Notes are required when accepting risk. Okay, so just test dummy. I'll just write that and save and close. So there you see that I have now get a new alert on that I have accepted this risk, right? So I close this now actually, and I update the browser, and let's see what happens actually with that one. I know that it takes a while to actually to get the secure score high, but now it's risk accepted, and still the score impact is 3.52. But let me see that if there is something happening. I don't think it happens on the straight, but as you see here in actions in review, now I have one action where I have accepted the risk. Good. Going back to the presentation, I wanted to actually tell you a bit about the secure score. Secure score actually about delivering insight on major threats to your organization, and we are also working with a solution where you can also see this on your customers level in our dashboard. And it's about getting, the posture management view of unprotected systems, of unprotected of the things you need to mitigate, and the actions you need to take. And it also gives you a guidance actually to how you should take recommended actions to increase your security resilience. Yeah. Good, guys. So the next point which I have on agenda is talking about our modern workplace with secure score solution, click to run solution. This secure score solution, that's actually just a template or a config, which is based on ARM template and Azure Resource Management templates, repetitive, done thousands of times, so you know that it works. And for you as partner, it doesn't cost anything. It's free of charge, like a 0 user per month. But what it gives you, and where the key features are that it gives you security baseline, which is pre-configured with the policies on Microsoft's industry's best practice. It gives you conditional access policies. So if you have Microsoft 365 Business Premium, then you have Azure AD P1 included. If you need more, P2, then you have to buy it. So it depends on if you have or not. But you also can use this click to run solution to bring your own code for creating your own runbooks as well. And the business outcome of this solution, those are that you get an automatic security, you have identifying priorities, you increase your security level, you establish some security baseline, and you also have a flexible authentication strategy. So before going there, I wanted to show you a fast demo of what this security score or modern workplace secure score is.
So Mumble, that I'm just gonna interrupt just a brief second. Are we sure that we are? Are you sure that you're also is sharing or that you're sharing your computer sound as well?
Yeah,
good.
I've done that.
Good. That's the only thing I want to check. Go ahead.
Okay. But Alexander, do tell me if the sound is not included, because then I will know that. Thank you.
I will let you know.
Check the new version of SecureScore 0.1. So the first part of the solution is the same. Select the location, the resource group, and then select the domain. This is an important step because we need to select the domain where we are going to deploy all the 365 configuration. Also the security default status, if it's disabled or not. And those are parameters common with the old versions. Then we go to deployment type. Here is the first change. So the old version of SecureScore used to deploy 4 runbooks, one runbook for 3 runbooks, sorry. One runbook for 365 configuration, other runbook for password expiration, another runbook for the MFA. Microsoft is blocking all the ways to connect to Azure AD on 365. That means no legacy out mode and no unattended mode. So to enforce MFA on users, the only way we can do it is using security defaults or conditional access. So in that step, we're gonna choose if we are using SecureScore without security defaults or with security defaults. And depending on the option, if we select without security defaults, a new tab appears. Sorry. This new tab is conditional access policies require MFA for all users. It's gonna create a conditional access for MFA enforced to all users. The second one is going to create an MFA policy for all users, but with the exception of the break glass group.
So I will stop there actually, because I just wanted to show you guys that this modern workplace with secure score solution, click to run solution, is actually also a solution which is evolving when Microsoft does change in their baseline or in their underlying structure, and then we also do that together with them. So our click to run solutions are as well dynamic. This solution you can get through both of our portals, both StreamOne Ion, which is the multi-cloud platform, but you can also get it with the old one, InTouch or Marketplace as well. Last thing which I need to tell you a bit about, which is actually a new news in itself. That was released on 28th March 23. It's about utilizing AI, actually artificial intelligence, into which Microsoft has already done with the Copilot on both on modern work, but also in Dynamics, and now they have done that with security as well. And it's the first security product to enable defenders to move at the speed and scale of AI. This is not perfect yet because it's a learning model, language model with a security specific model from Microsoft, but it will be better, and it is getting better. And the thought behind this security Copilot is to deliver an enterprise grade security and privacy compliant experience, and based on actually the threats it hunts and the information it gets from you, and the signals, like trillion signals, which gets into Microsoft's unique global threat intelligence. I'll just show you a quick video here as well. I hope it works. Okay, just give me 2 seconds. I think this one is that right. No, this one here.
If you've ever worked in a security operations center, you know it can feel like mayhem. More open browser tabs than you can count, alerts and incidents popping up all the time. Security Copilot is different. It helps you simplify and focus. At the center is the prompt bar. Prompts allow you to ask a natural language question like, what are all the incidents in my enterprise? You can ask for a summary of a vulnerability, or you can feed in files, URLs, or code snippets and ask for information about them. You can also ask for information about incidents or alerts from your other security tools. What you input here stays within your control. Your data is your data. Your prompts and the responses they generate are all saved. Core to Security Copilot is an immutable audit trail so that an organization can always go back into the investigation to understand exactly what data went in and what came out. This is because transparency has been designed in from the very start. Security Copilot uses AI to generate a response to the prompt, using what it finds externally and internally to your organization. Here we can see a short summary of a vulnerability, and we can see where this information was sourced from. You can edit the prompt if you want to correct or adjust the response. And if you find something that's useful to your team, you can pin it to the pin board. Your pin board holds the responses as you work through an investigation. And the pin board dynamically updates. You can share your findings, export them, and collaborate on them with others. Now, Security Copilot doesn't always get everything right. Here, it has generated a reference to Windows 9, which doesn't exist. AI-generated content can make mistakes. So we've made it easy for you to decide when you want to share feedback with us so we can make Copilot even better. You can indicate whether the response was incorrect, unclear, or maybe incomplete. Prompts can be collected into something called a prompt book, essentially a set of steps or automations that either I or a person on my team has developed. So I don't have a reversing background. By reversing, I mean dissecting malicious code to understand what it does. One of my coworkers asked Security Copilot to reverse engineer a script, and it did it. They saved that prompt to a prompt book, and now I can use it. In this example, it reverse engineered a malicious PowerShell script, explaining what it did step by step in a way that pretty much anyone could understand. When I saw that Security Copilot could do something like this, it felt like a game-changing moment in our industry. With Security Copilot, you can do in minutes what used to take all day.
Ja, da har dere noe spennende i vente, for å si det sånn. Spennende ting som kommer. Med det så tenkte jeg å gi nå egentlig ordet videre til min... Sorry, I got to Norwegian. With that, actually, I would like to say give the hands to my just let me see, to my colleague, Kasper.
Thank you very much, Mahmoud. If I can get you to get to my slides.
Yes, I will do that.
Then I would love to take over the control.
Just give me a sec. A sec is yeah, we'll just take down this and
and while Mahmoud is searching for the slides, I can introduce myself. My name is Kasper Flø. I'm a business development manager working out of Copenhagen. So I'm mainly working with the Danish partners. I've been with Tech Data for almost 10 years. So I've been here for quite a while. So I think most of the Danes participating in this call knows me. My focus is mainly on Microsoft Modern Work, as well as the TD SYNNEX services that we offer as a part of your go-to-market. And Mahmoud, if I can get you to, I'll take over control.
Yeah, sure. Here you go, Kasper.
Yeah. No, I don't, because apparently I'm on. Here we are. All right. Just to sum up a little bit on what we talk about with Defender for Business. Defender for Business come in 3 different ways for you as partners to purchase Defender for Business. One of them is as a standalone product, where it costs $3 per user per month, which is the estimated retail price. I'm using dollars just because we have different currency across the Nordics. The more preferred for small, medium customers is Microsoft Business Premium. That plan costs $22, or has an estimated retail price of $22 per month. The disadvantage of Business Premium is that it caps with 300 users. So if you have a customer with more than 300 users, you will have to have them on Microsoft 365 E5, which has an estimated retail price on 57 users per month. To that, you can add the Secure Score click-to-run solution, which is available in Stream 1 and Stream 1 Iron, as Mahmoud presented. That is one of the TD SYNNEX services, and it costs $0 for you as a partner. It's free, and you can just add it in the Stream 1 portal, but what you charge your customers for that service is up to you. As I said, I work with Microsoft Modern Work, but I also work with TD SYNNEX Services. And what is TD SYNNEX Services? Well, we have a lot of services. We have what we call a 4S framework, and I can talk for hours about the theoretical part of it. But I can also do what I've done here, show a picture from my vacation before Corona prevented me from traveling. What you see here is actually me and my family on our way to a safari in Uganda. And most of you guys have probably been driving through Germany. When you stop at a gas station in Germany, you will find restaurants, whether you want to eat Italian, if you want to eat junk food. If you want to sleep, there is a budget class or an expensive hotel. There might be a playground for your children. When you go to a safari in Africa, you have around 50 guys standing in the same red shirts. Most of them wear a cap, and they all, if you look in the bottom right corner, take from the same boxes either a chicken stick or a cold Coke. So whoever you purchase from is absolutely unimportant, because no matter what, you'll get a cold Coke and a stick with chicken. Once in a while, the Microsoft market can seem a little bit like a Uganda car stop. But what we want to do with our TD services is to help our partner become more like a German Rasteplatz, where you can offer whatever you want and whatever is needed. So that's basically another way to try to explain what we want to do with TD services. And Mahmoud had some very, very, very important and interesting number. One of them was that 90% of your end customer are interested or could change their partner based on the security offering they go to market with. So what we want to do from Tech Data is try to help you have as strong a security offering as possible. Not just offer Defender for Business in one of the 3 plans I just presented, because all of your competitors can do the same. What we want to do is to provide you with something extra that makes you the partner that the 90% wants to do business with, because you have the better security offering. In the left side of this corner, I've listed some of the services that we offer from TD SYNNEX. I'll go through a couple of them, and if you have never heard of them before and you find them interesting, your local business development manager knows about them and will be more than happy to engage in a closer dialogue with you. So now that our Q&A session is not working, your local business development manager or customer success manager will be able to follow up on everything that I'll say the next 5 minutes. One of the big challenges that a lot of my partners, and I'm sure that you can recognize that, is that how do we actually expose the security risk at our customers? It can be very, very hard to have the security dialogue, because understanding of security is different, and how do you really explain or see what is the specific customer's security challenge? Well, one way to go around it, one very effective way, is assessment. Assessment is tools that help you as a partner look into your end customers' specific environments, the threats that they meet with their environments. There are different levels of these tools. There are the self-service assessment, which I will move on to, because that is the easiest one to start with. Then Microsoft offers some assessment that I will also touch upon. Then we have the CSAT that I will go into more details with later. But let's start with a self-service assessment. Sorry, Mahmoud, here we are. The self-service assessment, and if the Q&A has been there, I would have posted a slide, a link there, but instead we will do that in the follow-up, because the self-service assessment is basically sending your customer a link to a Microsoft-driven site, and in here, within less than 3 hours, you can have not the deepest assessment, but an assessment on your end customer. The customer has to go in there themselves, and what they will get a scan of limited data sets that can be on-prem or on their cloud environments from a web portal. It operates in 12 different languages. It's deep enough so that you can get customer insight, that you can get threats insight, you can get recommendation. But if you want to go to all the details, you'll have to go a step deeper. So here you have a very, very, very easy way to get your customers to focus on their own security, and you can get some answers on where are they actually vulnerable. If the answer here is there is actually a lot of security threats here, we need to dig deeper. A good way to do that is to engage with your TD SYNNEC business development manager and have him help you engage with Microsoft, because Microsoft offer solution assessment. And what they offer here is the demand generation part, a whole process on making more in-depth security analysis and assessment. The demand generation has already been conducted here. You as a partner has already created the demand through the self-service assessment. So what will happen is that Microsoft will be a part of a introduction call where you as a partner participate as well as the customer. Then Microsoft will do an analysis. They will install, for instance, CSAT, as I mentioned before, which is one of the providers that creates these really in-depth analysis of your customer's environment. Then Microsoft and you as a partner will participate in creation and delivery, which is basically another way to say the handover of the findings of the assessment. And then you as a partner take over again, because you do a design and plan on how to actually handle all the security flaws. And that should be more or less making a consultant plan on how to upgrade their security. And in the end, of course, have an ongoing security dialogue with your customers. All right. If you find assessment being an interesting way to work, then you also have the opportunity to subscribe to CSAT. CSAT is one of these providers of assessment. And if you do that, you have the opportunity to include assessment and this security overview. You have the opportunity to do that in every status update you might have to your customer. If you have every 3 months, every 6 months an update, you can bring in a fresh security update. So you have an ongoing security dialogue based on facts, not based on whatever you feel could be the security threats of the day. So that is one way to work structured with CSAT. Now, a lot of you might think we don't have the capability to do that. We are lacking consultants. We are lacking time. How do we do that? If that is your challenge, well, you can contact your local TD SYNNEC business development manager, because what we have is a center of excellence. Our second center of excellence is a huge group of highly skilled consultants based in Barcelona who actually takes care of the handover delivery part of the quote creation and the security migration and upgrading. So they can actually take a lot of these tasks and responsibility upon them, meaning that you don't have to not go into this security dialogue with your customer, not being one of the partner 90% of the customers will prefer because you don't have the skills and knowledge yourself, because we can help you with that.
Good, thanks, Kasper. As I'm just seeing the clock as well, you know, I think we need to wrap it now. We'll just thank you all who have been into this call and listening to me and Kasper today. I will also just give a reminder that we have a webinar on 8th June around SOC as a service together with Chorus and TD SYNNEX. There is a registration link which will be shared with you. The presentation will be shared with you. And with that, I say goodbye and have a nice day to every one of you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you all.